Okay, get the sheet out that up in the upper left-hand corner says extensions. Okay, we talked about last time taking the pentatonic shape 1 between frets 5 and 8, okay, adding frets 3 and 5 on strings 6 and 5, okay, from the E and A strings. We tack that onto the top of this form. And then we added frets 10 and 9 from the E, G, and B strings. And we tacked that onto the bottom here, okay. We made this long pentatonic pattern, okay, going from the 3rd fret to the 10th fret. Okay, and it sounded like this. In fact, you can add the high E string at the 12th fret. That's E, okay? And E definitely part of this pattern. So, your tonic, your root note was here on the 5th fret of the 6th string. That's A. What happens if we take this whole pattern, okay? Remember, it's a pattern. And we're going to shift it down 1 string. So now your root note's here on D. Okay? If we refer back to the original pattern, starting on D, well, we had this little box up here, okay? And those are frets 3 and 5 on strings A and D, okay? So you have C, D, F, and G that we're adding to this new shape. We're changing the tonal center. It's no longer A, it's going to be D. So the notes are going to be a little different. But the pattern's staying the same, and that's real important to remember. Okay? And what's useful about this is when you're playing an A over here, maybe an A minor, okay, as 1 chord, or as your tonic, your 4 chord is right next to it, and that's the D, okay? So you're going from 1, A, to the 4 chord is D. Well, if you want to shift that pattern over to that D, you absolutely can, and it's very simple. So 3, 5, 3, 5, 7 on the D string, 5, 7 on G. Don't forget, we got to shift for the B string, right? 6, 8, 10 on the B string, 8, 10 on the high E. Okay? Same pattern. Again, all we're doing is we're coming down this direction on the strings. Instead of starting with the root on the 6th string, we're going to start with the root on the 5th string. Okay? What do we have to compensate for? Always. That pesky B string. It always shifts up. There's a couple little tricks to this pattern, okay? When we're talking about the D pentatonic here, D minor pentatonic. So you have this little box up here between the 3rd fret and the 5th fret on strings A and D, okay? But because now we're starting over here on the 5th string, that doesn't mean that the 6th string is forgotten about, because we can take the frets 3 and 5, the G and A, on the 6th string. We can add that to it, okay? And if you're paying attention, this 3, 5, 3, 5, 3, 5, I'm calling out the frets here, okay? 3, 5, 3, 5, 3, 5. So G, A, C, D, F, G. Those notes, that is the pattern for your pentatonic shape 3. So what's going on here? It's actually shifting, okay? When the root note, when the tonic is on the 5th string, your pentatonic shape instead of it being thinking of it as shape 1, like we would on the 6th string, right? It's the same pattern, but we're shifting it down over here to the 5th string. Okay? And by doing that, we're actually coming into pentatonic shape 4. Make sense? Now, so what we have here on the 6th string with the root here at the A, okay? This is pentatonic shape 1. That's pentatonic shape 5. Up here is pentatonic shape 2. But if we put the root on the 5th string, 5th fret, D becoming the root, the tonic, well, now we're playing pentatonic shape 4, which means the shape before it, connecting from above, is pentatonic shape 3. And that's why you get these we get to add this as the new extension with the root on the 5th string. Make sense? The other great thing about this, okay, is because if we're thinking about this shape as being minor, so this is D minor pentatonic. When we get down here to the 10th fret, okay, on the high E string, that's D, right? And we know the next string over is A. Well, those are two notes that we're looking for in the D minor pentatonic, right? Well, if you bar the top 3 strings, the E, G, and B strings, E, B, and G strings, okay, and you strike only those three strings, you have a D minor triad. So you can play D minor here, or you can play the triad here. Oh. And now you have a way to connect the two. So you're jamming along and, I don't know, you're playing the G minor up here, and all of a sudden you want to throw some notes in, and you can use these notes. It's part of this pattern, okay? So remember, the whole guitar neck is a system of patterns, and I'm looking to show you an easy way of memorizing these patterns, because it's really just one pattern that repeats, and you have to see how it repeats. Eventually, you can get to a point where you pick a note anywhere on the fretboard, and if you want a minor pentatonic shape, remember, minor, major, minor, major. So D minor, I'm going to call it the frets, okay? So 5, 8, and then 5, 7, 5, 7, 6, 8, 5, 8. That's your D minor pentatonic shape starting at the 5th fret on the 5th string. Okay? It's important to see that. And if you want A minor, right? So you're on the 7th fret of the D string, that's A. What are we doing? It's just going to be the same. It is a 1.5 step interval followed by 3 whole intervals. That is the pattern. It doesn't change. The starting note is going to change, and again, if you start with the index finger, it'll be minor. If you start with pinky, it'll be major. Okay? So that's really important to understand and get in your head. In my opinion, it is so much better than the caged system. I am not converting, hey, this is a blankety blank shape, and I'm playing it here, so I gotta add this to that, and now I know where I am on the fretboard. No, this is so much easier to memorize the one pattern. Originally I had said it's two sets of, 1 4 1 4 1 3 1 3 1 3, right? And that's, the frets. If we assign one fret per finger, right? So 1 4 1 4 1 3 1 3 1 3. That's how initially we started to assign this. That pattern does not change with the pentatonics. Okay. Again, if we start on the pinky, that's C major. If we start here on the index, that's A minor. Okay. It's the same scale. It's just the matter. What's changing is the starting point. Okay, but the physical layout of that scale is the same. That's C major. Oh, hey, look, it sounds just like C minor. Screw that one up, but whatever. Okay, so same exact notes. The tonal center is a little different, right? There's A minor. C major. So it sounds, a little majory, a little minory. Get this under your belt. This will serve you so much better, so much more useful than the supposed cage system. Okay, the cage system is great to begin with, but I think it adds too many extra steps. And when you're improvising, you want to be able to rattle this off. If you're playing with other musicians or whatever, you want to just be able to quickly play an A minor scale. You're sitting there, you're strumming out on A minor chord, right? I'm just hitting the A minor pentatonic scale. If I'm going to sit and play on the C, now I'm thinking of it in terms of a major pentatonic. Same shape, same notes, but I'm thinking differently about it. Okay, and what I tell you, in a previous video is that the eye that alters the mind alters all. And it's the way that we're looking at this fretboard. That's what's gonna unlock your playing abilities and the way you view the fretboard. And then all of a sudden you're gonna start to have a whole bunch of light bulb moments. Okay? So in the next couple of videos, we're gonna be going over minor and major pentatonics a little more in depth. So peace out.